So, I'm gonna attempt for the 900 millionth time to start uploading my videos on the Great American Millennial. I like the irony of that song. I like the irony of that title, or that YouTube channel, whatever the fuck you want to. Great American Millennial. Bro, I live in a trailer in my dad's backyard. I mean, no matter how you put it, trailer, dad's backyard. I've actually lived in this trailer for the last, I want to say 2 years. I don't remember the exact date or anything along those lines. But basically, I was living at my grandpa's house. My grandfather passed away. Then, after my grandfather passed away, my mom moved in. Me and my mom don't really get along. I tried to make it work for a long period of time, but it just wasn't to anybody's benefit. And one day, me and her, my grandma was doing bad. She was only, it was getting to the point where I was having a really, really, really hard time dealing with the situation, living in the house. It was very cramped. My little brother was living so it was me, my mom, my grandma, and my little brother in a 2-bedroom house. My mom was sleeping with my grandma, which that sucks. They also didn't get along. My mom didn't really like my grandma. Funny. Loved her. Didn't like her. My grandma, was also a slightly complicated person, but on top of that, still, no lady. Miss her to death, man. I really do. She loved me so much. Talked a lot of shit about me, but she loved me. I've always been the black sheep of the family. Whatever. So I moved into this trailer, and then I realized a little bit ago, that I have never, I just moved into the trailer. I threw all my shit in here, and I kind of just lived around my shit. It does have some decent storage. This trailer's actually, we've owned this trailer for quite a few years. We used to keep it down in the Keys during the summertime. It was great. I have a lot of amazing memories in this trailer. So I kind of just threw all my shit, and there was still a bunch of old shit that was sitting in here. Hadn't been cleaned. There was rats living in here. I think at one time, I got rats in here when I first moved in, and I killed, 8 of them. They were all just living in here. I've cleaned it a couple times. My sister stayed over to take care of the dogs, and she ended up cleaning. She did a really good job of cleaning it. I've realized that I'm a very messy person. I don't like messes, and I like cleanliness, but I'm also really okay with dirt. And I hate that. And I've realized in 33 years, I hate a lot of things that I was just dealing with. So, recently, I stopped drinking. I stopped smoking weed. I stopped drinking coffee. I'm kind of just raw dogging life. I've also just recently got off of social media, and my productivity has gone up at least 50%. And my brain has just been feeling better. I know that sounds really weird, but it is 100% true. I was very scatterbrained. I still am. I definitely have some ADHD, but social media was just making it all just worse. It was also making me feel bad in general. I'm trying to just be a better person. I've been running. Not that I've always been, but I took up running quite a bit ago. It's something that I used to do when I was younger. I had asthma, and one day I just got tired of having asthma. So I figured I'm going to force my lungs to work properly. And by sheer willpower and like running, I would just run until I couldn't run anymore. And then I would just push it further and further and further and further. And I think I fixed my lungs. I actually think I fixed my lungs that way. I don't recommend anybody doing that. I was probably 12, 13. I was also a fat kid. Like, I've always been kind of fat. Now I'm the skinny kid. Now I'm not a kid. But now I'm the skinny guy. And that's I've always kind of been skinny fat throughout my teens and my 20s. I've had some really gross parts where I'm like skinny fat and gross. Like to where I don't even feel okay. And I didn't want to take off my shirt. I really only get... Hey! Athena! Rooster! Yeah. I have 3 dogs living in here. My sister's dog, Athena. My dog, Rooster. And my dog, Bimini. So if you hear me yelling at them, it's probably the reason why. It's probably the one that's yelling at. So, I've been running a lot more. I have aspirations of doing a marathon. I want to do a marathon by the end of this year. Currently, August. It's kind of a little bit of a goal of mine. I think it's been a goal of mine for a while now too. And I'm doing pretty good. I'm running consecutively 7 miles and feeling good. I'm going to start pushing it up. I think next week I'll probably push it up to 10 miles. And I'm doing that 3 to 4 times a week. Mostly 3, sometimes 2. But most of the time I get a good run in. I've just recently started doing a morning run. That puts me in such a good mood. I'm also doing push-ups and squats. I can't do much. I had an accident December 24th of 2021 or 2022. I don't remember exactly the date. I believe it was 21. Right after the pandemic, right after Florida opened up for the pandemic. So probably 21. Yeah. I had an accident, was stopped at a light and a girl rear-ended me. And because of that, I have herniated discs in my neck and some inflamed discs in my back. And those do affect me quite a bit. So I don't really do a lot, mostly just body weight, things like that. I am starting to feel a lot better, which is nice. The belly has gone away, which is also nice. That's also the fact that I have a really bad problem with sweets, and I stopped eating sweets. I only eat sweets on Sundays. I also stopped shaving and cutting my hair. That's helped out a lot. It's giving me a lot of focus, because I don't have to think about it. And to be honest, I'm not very, I'm not to toot my own horn, but I'm not ugly. I've never been an ugly guy. I've always skated by. I've been at least average. And then I would assume with my personality, maybe I give myself an extra 2 points. So let's say average is 5, probably 7. 8 on a good day. But if you let me talk to you finally talk to somebody that I'm interested long enough, chances are I'll get the interaction that I want. And that's kind of always been my forte. And I've realized that as I've gotten older, like, the things that used to work no longer work. And honestly, I don't want them to work. I used to, like, I was really good. I was a very attentive person. I do pay attention to things quite a lot. So I was able to use, basically I would figure out, like, what a girl was interested in, and then just mold myself into that. And then on top of that, like, I just made myself, my goal was always just to be, like, extremely interesting. That was always my goal. That was always my forte, and it always worked. To be honest, like, the more interesting you are as a person, more girls like you. So, worked out. I'm still interesting, man, but I don't, like, the people that are interested in me, I'm not interested in, and I want a different level of person. Not even a different level of person. That's so horrible. It just feels bad to say. But, like, what I'm attracting is not what I want. As my friends have all had kids and gotten married and doing the whole, the normal thing, I realized that I don't really want that, but I kind of do. Like, I want some version of that. I just want the version of that tailored to me. I've also figured out that I want to travel a lot more, and I want to be more interesting. So I am working towards get in there, rice cookers. I am working towards, I want to take a year off. I want to take a year off and sail around the world, and ideally I want to take 2 years off. That's really where I'm at. Like, if I could take 2 years off, sail around the world, come back, and then have some form of a business. I'm currently a dog groomer. I have been a dog groomer since I want to say that I was 20. So going on 13 years, probably 14. But it's been great. Like, it's nice. It's definitely an introduction into owning your own business. It's a pretty simple business to run. I've gotten decently good at it. And, like, the business part, the grooming part, I've always been good at it. It has supplemented my life. It has paid all my bills. It has allowed me a great amount of freedom. I've always had freedom. I've always been a free person. It's just been limited because I always had people worried. Like, I always had people that I had to worry about, like my mom, like my grandma, like my grandfather, like my dad. I've always had those kinds of anchors. And to be honest, like, I don't have them anymore. My grandma's no longer here. My grandfather's no longer here. And I miss them. But I did everything that I possibly could to take care of them. So I don't have any regrets that they're not here. I'm actually very happy that they're not. Because at the end of your life, like, there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of struggle that you don't want, and the least amount of money that you have, the less money you have, the more problems you have. And I mean, that's with everything, right? But especially so in old age, especially when you have to start relying on people. I was paying $700 a week to have a lady come take care of my grandma pretty much the entire day. And my grandma was self-sufficient, and her Medicare wouldn't cover anything. Like, that was a joke. So luckily we had some Luckily, we had some family that was came from Cuba, like a family of like a friend of it. Hey, relax. And she took care of them, and I also got to help them out, which is always cool. You know, because they needed the money, I needed the help. I did overpay a little bit, but it was also so that I could get the level of care that I wanted. And I got it. Luckily, if my grandma was such a beautiful human. She didn't spend more time than she needed. The moment that I needed to do that, she was gone. I think she made it another maybe, I think she made it a month, maybe 2 months. Let's say 2 months. She probably made about 2 months. 2 months where she saw that I was working, and I was working. I would literally leave at 8 o'clock. My first appointment would be at 8 o'clock in the morning. My last appointment would be at 9 o'clock at night, and sometimes I'd be working until 10. And then I'd get home, take care of her for the rest, till 12, 1 o'clock, or until, if my mom got home, I was able to scoot. But she likes to go, she used to like to go out. No, she likes to go out and stuff like that. And she was out living her life and things. And on top of that, like, her and my grandma didn't get along, so, there's that. And I don't want this to sound like I'm just complaining about my mom, because I do. I do just complain about my mom. I wish there was differences, but there isn't. And I don't want it to sound like that, because she isn't a horrible person. She just, me and her, they just didn't click, man. That's all it was. There's no other way around it. My mom's personality is difficult. My grandma's personality was difficult, and they just did oil and water, But they're really just the same person. So there was that, and all those things. I don't remember where I was going with this rant, but basically, I'm trying to document. Kind of just trying to document my cool little journey, man, because I'm pretty happy right about now. There's never any perfection to life. Like, I think life's perfection is that it's imperfections. So there is a bunch of things that I'm still dealing with. There's a bunch of life factors that I'm not super thrilled on or anything along those lines. But it's pretty good. So a hell of a lot better than it's ever been. That's nice. And at least I have a direction. My problem always has been that there has never really been a direction in my life. I kind of I did things. I let, fly by the seat of your pants kind of thing. The dog grooming happened into it. Like, I was actually probably going to become a barber, which, in retrospect, maybe would have been a better career move. But I also really like my job, and on top of the fact that I like my job, because there's no lack of people. There's a lack of groomers, and not a lack of dogs that need to be groomed. So I get to pick and choose my clients. Like, my client list right now is perfect. I wish that I had some more, but I go through these ebb and flows where I get rid of certain customers. I don't like problematic customers, and I have a certain style. I have a very laid back, I'll bust a mission to help you out and get things done, but I'm not the best groomer. Your dog's not a show dog, and I'm not a show groomer. And right now my life is pretty much tailored to me and my personality. My business, something that that is one thing that I did do, was I built this business 100% to revolve around my personality. And my personality, I like taking vacations. I like having multiple days off. I like being able to, you know, take off and do things. I think everybody does. So I built the business around that. And it pays my bills and, you know, affords me to, as long as the way that I see it is, as long as I can eat out, as long as I don't have to worry about spending money on food, I'm happy. And then then after that, it's, can I take days off? How many days can I take off? Obviously, there's a limited amount of days that I can take off, but it's not an abundance amount of money. I also live pretty cheaply, in the sense that I live in my dad's backyard, and I am so thankful for this spot. Because I know people that are like, if I didn't have this place, I'd be in a way worse situation. I'd be able to afford it, but it would suck. And then I wouldn't be able to be me. Here, I'm allowed to be me. And it's not perfect, because it never is. But it ain't fucking bad. And as much as I want to complain about it, I really can't. So, I'm in the process of actually fisting this place up and getting it to the point where, like, I'm comfortable in it, and it's simple and clean. Because right now, it is extremely complicated to clean. The rug sucks. It's a horrible old rug that's glued to the floor. My dogs shed like monsters. I shed. Look at that long hair. I shed. And it really does suck. The couch smells horrible. Hey, Athena, get out of it. When it gets hot in here, like if the AC's not on and it gets up to like 80, 90 degrees because Florida is hot, it smells so bad in here. I'm getting to the point in my life that, one, I don't want to have to think about things, like, I don't want to bring, ew. I don't know what the fuck that is. I just pulled out a nasty, like, hair glob or something out of the sink. And if you think I'm gross, same, like, I feel gross too. If anybody ever sees this, but I'm feeling gross too. And it's something that you get to ignore when you're sedated, man. To be honest, I was sedated and distracted. And I think we all find our sedations and distractions. I've been mitigating my want to go on social media. I still do go on social media because I do have to post some things on Facebook Marketplace and things like that. I hate Facebook, so I just use Facebook. I took off the app, got rid of the app, and then I only use the browser on my phone. So it's not even like on the computer or anything along those lines. And that definitely has cut down on the amount of time that I spend on any kind of social media, which is nice. That with the combination of no weed, no alcohol, limited amounts of sugar, no coffee. Coffee I was getting extremely addicted to, and it wasn't doing anything. Like, I was drinking a Cuban cup of coffee every morning just to like function, and I didn't like I stopped. There was no benefit anymore, and I was like, damn, this sucks. Like, I'm having no benefit. Luckily, I was drinking black coffee, so I didn't have the like, there wasn't like sugar spikes and things like that throughout my day. And this all really started in the same, like, the silent footsteps started a while ago. Of like trying to fix this. The black coffee was started by finding out about intermittent fasting through Joe Rogan. Intermittent fasting has helped me out because I have acid reflux, so eating breakfast in the morning would really fuck me up. And being on a schedule of eating has my stomach has no problems anymore. I mean, I still I'll still have stomach issues and I'll still feel kind of crappy sometimes, but it's because I ate something. But if I just stick to my diet, which right now is a mostly protein diet with, I love rice, so I've been adding rice into that. So it's like mostly protein, rice, and then I've been eating late so that I could keep up my my weight, because I lose too much weight because I'm running as many miles as I am. It starts to cause a problem where I was getting down. I walk around like at a $140, $145 at my most, and when I started like running heavy, I got down to like 125, I think was the lowest. And I was eating and I was 125. So what I found out is that if I just eat real late and go to sleep, which is great, I mean, to be honest, I knock the fuck out. My sleep schedule has been much better because of that. Hey, shut up. My sleep schedule has been a lot better because of that. Going to sleep has been really easy. If it looks like I'm just wiping this all down with water, I am. I'm gonna come back and clean this better. Just for right now, we're cleaning it with water. Just so it's dusty. There's dust and dirt on everything. My dogs are dirty. My dogs are very much inside outside dogs, but they're dirty. So this place gets dirty. I'm gonna be painting it soon and just getting it into a better spot. Currently, this is my disaster. Here, look, this is the first thing I got done. Bam. Kitchen. Unfortunately, my poor fish, he died. My other fish died. Had 2 betta fish. I had one of them for over a year and the other one for a bunch of months. This is my cool little refrigerator. That thing. Those are those stupid dogs. Hey, stupid dogs, look at me. This one's retarded. That one definitely needs help. Yeah, I was about to say the R word. Can't say that anymore. But yeah, I also got a bunch of stuff from my grandma. Like, my grandma was a cook, so I have a lot of her cooking stuff, pots and pans, and I was able to keep all. Oh my god, look at this thing. Look at that. This pan. I've had so many great steaks off of that pan. That's what my grandma used to cook with. Then, of course, since I'm Hispanic, there's more pans in there. Things like that. I'm gonna be organizing this place a lot better. There used to be a dinette table, like a dinette table that turned into right where the dog is playing. The dinette table that turned into a bed. Got rid of that. Hey! Got rid of that. Getting rid of this couch. And gonna put some kind of a leather couch. I'm gonna organize this. I'm gonna make that, put a desk. It's gonna be an L-shaped desk that's gonna go all the way around there. Unfortunately, this crate has to go there. This dog has to go in a crate because she'll destroy things because she's, you know, that. The next project will definitely be the bathroom. This is my cool shower plant. She's doing great. She likes it. She tickles my back while I'm taking a shower because it's a tiny, tiny little shower. Toilet plant. Sorry for the toilet. You know, just in case you're gonna throw up. And there's that guy, Thinking Spaceman. I'm gonna be fixing the bathroom for sure. I'm gonna change out that change out the shower, put a better shower in there. I also have a soft spot in there. I have a soft spot near the floor. I got a leak in the roof. This is my next. That's currently just storage. There used to be a bunk bed down there and a bunk bed up here. I don't have a drawer. Like, I have drawers, but clothes storage sucks. So I'm gonna turn that into. I'm gonna put a dresser in there. I'm gonna cut this top part out. Probably end up cutting this part out if that dog isn't pregnant, because this dog and that dog did a thing. She may be pregnant, so hope not. Kind of gunning that it's not. So I'm gonna cut this out. I'm gonna use store. It goes all the way back. It's a 6.5 foot long bed. Actually, you can see it that way. So I'm gonna cut that in half, and that'll be like shelf. That'll be a shelf. I'm gonna put my plastic boxes in there and stuff like that. Probably my camping gear and all those things. There's a bunch of shit under there that I gotta get rid of. I'm gonna start throwing stuff away. Start organizing these things. It's like GPSs for my boats and stuff like that. Yeah, that's it. You know, I'll be updating. I don't know, I'm gonna try to do this once a week. I think I'm gonna try to do this as like a week's recap, you know, just what I'm doing and where I'm at, mentally and emotionally, things. I am working on myself as much as possible. I'm trying to get to a much better place as a person. My goal, like, I do suffer from depression. I think everybody suffers from depression. My life wasn't the greatest. I don't think anybody's life is the greatest. It wasn't all, you know, rainbows and sunshine. But I do deal with some depression. I do deal with some, not anxiety, because I think I run too much to have anxiety anymore. I do get anxiety if I'm not running or working out. Dealing with that, and I found ways to like mitigate it. I've just been taking to be honest, it's just been taking the Joe Rogan approach. I'm just mirroring that motherfucker. Like, I had to cut out the weed. Like, the weed actually got me through some really, really, really hard times. I'm gonna be real honest. If it wasn't for weed, it would have been far worse. I would have had a lot more stress. I probably wouldn't be okay. I probably wouldn't. I don't know if I'm okay, but I probably would be far less okay than I am now. So there's that. I am very thankful. Mushrooms have also helped too. I don't recommend this, or I don't think this is for everybody. it helped me. I'm pretty good at getting rid of addictions. I have some pretty damn good willpower, and that was, easy to get. You could definitely get addicted to weed, mentally, not physically, because that was the easiest addiction. The hardest addiction, surprisingly, was coffee. Coffee has been super, super hard to get rid of. It took me a while. Bimini, what are you doing? It took me. That was the one I struggled with the most. I had done sober October. Like, I've done a month. Just take a month off of drinking, because I was drinking a lot. To be honest, like, most weeks, 6-7 days out of the week was normal. And then I was getting, like, decently drunk at night. At least 3, 4, 5 times out of the week. I started to actually think that I was becoming an alcoholic, and I might have been on the cusp of it. I did get rid of it. The first time that I took the month off, that sucked. That first beer was so fucking tasty. Also, I do drink hard liquor, but most of the time I was just drinking beer. And beer's a lot easier to get rid of than, like, hard liquor. I don't think that the addiction is the same, but I also don't know. But I was moving into hard liquor, and I still have, like, I got a 12-year-old bottle of scotch. I got some really good tequila. I got another vodka, and then some whiskey. This was a 1-year-old 80 proof. This was a really good whiskey. I like that shit. And no problems. Like, it's all just sitting there. I can definitely just have a drink whenever I want. And I'm definitely that type of person. I'm like, I'm just feeling like a drink. Boop, then have a drink, and then have a couple. I think that taking the sober October, like, doing that sober October method was good. Like, it was like, all right, cool. You can do a month. You can do a month. Great. Can you do 2 months? You do 2 months? Great. Can you do 3 months? Now I'm, like, probably 4 months deep, chilling. And this is all actually leading up to one thing. In October 13th, I'm gonna do a heavy mushroom trip. I've done a couple heavy mushroom trips where I've done like 2-3 grams. I'm gonna shoot for 5. And I've been doing it in the sense, like, I've been setting it up, and I'm taking it as a ritual. Like, I'm setting up an entire weekend. I'm building up to it. I wanted to get off. That's why I got off the weed. That's why I got off of the drinking. I want my body to be as clean as possible. I want to get the effects as much as I possibly can. The best way that I've heard it explained that I agree with is that it's like a fresh snow on a ski path. It just, all the ruts, everything that was already there, they're just gone. They're not there no more. They're at least less. And if you go back onto the same path over and over again, you're gonna make the ruts again. They're easy to find, but you don't have to. You can just go in different directions. And I have also gotten a lot of information from it. What information that is, I don't know, man. It's all personal. It's like it puts you in a weird head. It puts a different filter on life, and it changes. It 100% changes the reality. And then there's also the explanation of there's you before mushrooms and you after mushrooms, and that could be good, that could be bad. I don't know
I don't recommend it if you are gonna look into it and stuff like that. I started real small. I like, this is not telling anybody on how to do it or anything along those lines, but I kind of just introduced myself mildly, and I'm not one to shy away from drugs. Like, I have no problems doing cocaine. Can't do it anymore because now you'll die because there's fentanyl in it. But like, I've done coke, I've done Molly, I've done, I mean, and I say Molly, I mean, I've done random pills at Ultra, so we would assume that they're Molly, but I don't know. And none of those drugs have ever really gotten me. Also, I don't have the same reaction to drugs that other people have, and it's very strange. Like, I'm always, I guess I'm a third person in the drug experience. Like, I'm almost watching myself, and I could kind of just mitigate, you know, like, I never go too far, and I push. Like, I'm a 0 or 100, and I'm one of those people that's like, yo, everything, all of it, and have been okay. So not everybody is like that. I don't even know if I'm really like that. I might be lying to myself, but that's just currently what I've done. So I don't recommend anybody doing this without a professional. There's so many people out there that are professionals, and I think that those are really good. That's a really good way to do it, and I think that you should do it. And if you are going to do it, treat it as a sacrament, because it is. It's a holy experience. You should treat it as a sacrament. You should earn it, and then do it, or just do it. I don't fucking know. I'm nowhere to give explanations, but yeah, that's it. It's the end of this video. Deuces.